And we're back with another video, guys. As you can see, we're going to be doing a mullet today. And this right here, I'm just moisturizing his hair, getting it nice and wet. So I'm going to start off with some scissor work, setting the foundation of where I want to cut the hair and cut the mullet. So this right here, I'm just doing I'll call it a triangle section, right in that like little corner piece of his head. Starting at the crown, and I work forward towards the that recession point, and then I'm just going straight down behind the ear, and I'm going to be using that triangle shape to set the blend and set where I want to, cut and get that shape in for the mullet. So this right here, I'm just doing 1-inch sections, starting low and working my way up. What this is going to do, it's going to create a graduation. And the hair that is sitting closer to the crown, when it falls forward, it's going to be sitting right at that blend point, which will be my highest point. So you can think of it as debulking, and I'm going to be doing this with my scissors. So right here, I'm probably going to do like 3 or 4 sections, just doing 1 inch at a time. As you can see, there's still some hair that needs to be cut, but I'm waiting for me to set in that first guideline, and then I'll follow back up and whatever hair is hanging over, I'm going to cut that. So I'm actually starting with my 1.5 guard open. Reason I'm doing this is because I want there to be a little bit quicker of a transition in between that blend. I want it to be a tight blend. So I start with my 1.5 open and follow up immediately with my lever closed and no guard. And right after that, I'm just following it up with the trimmer to really clean up those small stubbly hairs. This way it gives it that nice bald look. And right here, this is where I'm going to be getting some extra hair. This is what's hanging over. As you can see, there's short pieces right there, little short bits of hair. Whatever's hanging over that, I'm going to be cutting it, and I'm making sure to not take too much off, and I don't want to create another line. Follow right back up with some scissor over comb just to get some extra hairs that I missed. Now what I'm doing is I'm following up with my number 1 guard open. Just staying right below that 1.5 line, working on knocking that blend out, removing that bottom line, and I'm going to be going down, I'm going to be blending down into that bald line. And right here, guys, I'm just following back up with my 1/2 guard, all the way open, still blending down, lightening up that blend section like a taper look, right at the bottom of the mullet to really get that transition. So I'm going to slowly close the lever, going from open to close, knocking out that bottom line. Once I'm done with that 1/2 guard, guys, I'm going straight with my lever open, and I'm going to be slowly closing it just to remove that bottom line. And don't be afraid to flick up and kind of go into, that guideline. It's really important to get out that bald line, and sometimes you got to take the clipper into the haircut to make sure to get that line out. It can be tricky, so just make sure you have a nice little system between your trimmers and your lever closed, and this way you're going to get that nice smooth transition that you're looking for. Right here, doing the same thing, same steps on the other side, starting from the crown over to the recession point, getting that guideline, and then I'm going to section it straight from the crown to behind the ear and creating that triangle section to start that blend. And what I did, I pulled all the hair down first, just set that guideline to where I wanted to blend, and then I follow right back up again with my 1.5 open, right to where I want that blend to be. After that, I'm creating my bald line so I could see where the blend's going to be, and this is going to be the area that I'm slowly blending out. And his hair was a little bit longer, and I wanted to do a little bit different on this side, so I actually have my 3 guard right here open, just softening up that hair, and then I'm going to follow back up and going through it with my 1 guard open. So now I got my 1 guard open, and I'm staying below that 1.5 line. You don't want to push the blend up and go higher than the guard that you were just previously using. That way, you know, like I said, you're not pushing up the blend, you're keeping it lower, and you're keeping it condensed into the area that you want. And not everybody's head will blend, or not everybody's hair will blend the same on each side. So just be mindful of that. Pay attention to how light the hair is getting with the guards you're using. I got my half guard open right here. I'm gonna slowly be closing it until I feel comfortable enough to where it's light enough to where I can go into it with no guard. Once I'm done with that half guard, I'm going straight into that bottom line with my lever open. You can see the blend's already there. It's knocked out. Now we're just doing that final touch, removing that bottom line so we get that smooth transition between bald and into hair. So it's extremely important to use the corner of your blades. This way you're not using the full length of the blade and you're not taking too much hair off. You know, you kind of got to be tricky with it, and you got to know, you know, okay, if I cut this hair, it's going to be this short and it's going to blend into the longer hair. So you just got to pay attention to what you're doing. And like I said, don't be afraid to go into the blend, because sometimes no guard on, lever open, halfway closed, all the way closed, it'll give you that nice little transition that you want, and it'll lighten up those dark spots. After this, we're about to go straight into the beard. He wanted me to take it down just a little bit, keep it full, clean it up, shape it up, and that's why I got my number 3 guard open right now. The reason why I'm going with the grain is because I don't want to take too much hair off. So what I'm doing now is I'm just softening up where I'm going to put that beard line in and create that crisp line, because I don't want it to be too long and I don't want hairs hanging over. So I'm just shaping it up, getting the loose hairs, and then after that, once I'm done loosening, like cutting up the loose hairs, I'm going to use no guard, and I'm really going to refine it. So after that 3, I pop my 1.5 guard on, and now I'm blending down into that blend. After that 1.5, I got my 1 guard, and I'm always starting with it open. As you can see right there, I close it up a little bit, just making sure to stay right by the bottom of that earlobe and trying to blend out that bald line that's in between the taper and where the blend's gonna be. With no lever on, my lever open, I'm slowly going into where that bald line was created, slowly working my way up towards the top of the ear. That way it knocks out that harsh line and you're getting that smooth transition. And this is where I'm doing my freehand work. And when I do freehand work on the beard, I usually like to use a fade blade, just because it stays flat on the surface of the beard and you can really refine your shape, and you can really you know, get that shape you desire and what the client wants. And a little trick I've learned, sometimes I'll keep a finger on my wrist just to make sure that my hand stays steady. Just saying what's up to y'all. Keeping it steady, just making sure I can get it how I want it. And now I got the trimmer going behind the beard, just making that vertical line, so it's starting to get sharp. As you can see, we're doing our thing. And I'm angling the bottom of the beard, using the chin as the lowest point and using the corner of the jaw, where the neck and the jawline meet, to have like the higher point, so you get like that nice little 45-degree angle from the chin to the jaw. He didn't want it too square. He wanted it to have like a nice little angle, and this angle will complement the shape of the beard as well. Hitting that top line, starting right by the mustache, and I'm just gonna work my way up to the ear and just try and get it nice and even as possible, get that curve in, and we're still trying to keep that beard line as high as possible. Now the higher you go, not everyone's beard is going to be as full, so it may seem a little bit lighter. Just make sure to know where you're at and make sure that you're still replicating that same curve on the other side. I'd already did this side previous to recording it. As you can see, I'm hitting it with the straight razor, always starting up top above the eyebrow, and then I work my way down. This way you're not missing any extra pieces of hair. I'm a little bit shorter, so it's harder for me to reach around the head, laying back and reach around the head, so sometimes I'll flip the blade upside down and use the straight razor in an upwards motion. As you can see right here, just always wiping off the canvas, making sure that it's nice lined and it's nice and crisp. And after I hit it with the straight razor, we're going to be enhancing his beard today. I like to use a paintbrush when I'm applying it to the beard. This way I can get that nice crisp line. And the hairs on the brush, the paintbrush, you know, it keeps it nice and crisp, tight, and uniform. And I always like to follow back up, brushing the kiss enhancement into the beard, into the skin. And that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to dye the skin and darken up the hair. So this stuff lasts 1 to 3 days. And you want to be careful that you're not washing it too much out, scrubbing your face really hard wherever you're applying it. You know, it will dissolve over time. The warmer the liquid, the more soap you use, the quicker it's going to come out. After I do that, I follow up with the straight razor to make sure that I get it nice and crisp. Back on the other side, following the same steps, using my straight razor, getting the line that I want first, and then I'm going to follow up and hit them with some enhancements. Constantly wiping off my blade. This way it ensures that the blade is clean and it's not leaving any of that residue of skin cells, hair, any of your shaving cream or shaving oils or whatever type of gel you use. So now I'm just hitting that C cup, getting it nice and curvy. Stretching his skin out is very important because you want to have a nice smooth surface, and it allows that blade to attack the hairs better when you have a nice stretched out, you have a nice taut like skin. This way, you know, you're getting that crispy line every single time. Same thing right here. Starting at the high point so that I don't go too high with the enhancements. As you can see, you know, the enhancements, man, they're doing their thing. You putting it on, it's getting it nice and dark. Sorry for the blurriness. Didn't mean for that to happen. I didn't even notice it was happening, but it'll go away here in a second. So I'm just setting in my line, and I'm gonna follow back up, you know, fill in some spots that I see are darker with the paintbrush, and then I'm gonna wipe it in, presses it down on the skin, presses it down on the hair. This way you're ensuring an even placement with the enhancements. There we go, finally back out of back in focus. So attacking the enhancement line with my straight razor, making sure that it stays nice and crisp, it's nice and smooth, it looks even throughout. And when you're doing this, guys, stand in front of your client and make sure that it's even. And here we go, you know, using a little bit of spray and water for some visual effects. But check that out, man. That's the blend. That's crispy. Like it. Comment. Let me know what you think. Things I could do different. Let me know, you know, some feedback. Make sure to share this and you know, follow for some more content. Really work on pushing this. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you enjoyed it.